Hi Pisces, welcome to your December reading. For reasons that we don't have to go into right now, tapping into your energy felt like a nightmare for the past 40 something days because you are the slow healers, the ones that hold the pain, the ones that hold the space. And the idea of dipping into that energy with everything that was going on made me want to die. Okay. A preview of this reading will be available on YouTube if that's where you're watching this. To watch the whole thing, please head on over to Patreon or to Vimeo. An extended will also be available. Let's get into it. Pisces, the Gemini full moon has just passed and the moon is still very, very strong. Here we have the Eight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So Saturn has gone direct in your sign. And Mercury will go retrograde on the 13th of December. On the 23rd of December, it will retrograde back into Sagittarius. So what does that mean for you? For Pisces rising, that's your 11th house and then your 10th house. Mars is there in that 10th house. Mars is in Sag. So a lot of this is going to be marriage related and work related. You know, we talk about it all the time. What are your relationship goals? What are you looking for? But that's not what this is. This is you looking at yourself and thinking, like, I've been running pretty fast, right? But have I really stopped and updated anything recently? Like, don't take this the wrong way. But you do have a tendency to become a bit dated. Like, it's hard for you to evolve your connections, evolve your look, evolve your thinking sometimes. You can get stuck. And, you know, that's hardest to hear because you're a mutable sign. If you were like a Leo or a Taurus or a Scorpio, I'd be like, you know what I'm talking about. You get stuck in your head. But Pisceans are the mutable sign that gets stuck and we don't talk about it. So the easiest example I can give you is that my leg was almost broken in a very horrific car crash a few years ago. And they x-rayed me a bunch of times because they were pretty fucking sure my leg was broken. And it wasn't. My Vedic Mars and Venus are in Pisces, which when I had my Vedic chart done, I was told that I was therefore the slowest healer in the zodiac. And that my leg would take years to heal. And it did. It fully healed. But for a few years, it seemed like nothing at all was happening. And I just had this gigantic hematoma. Right? It was scary. But although the healing process of Pisces is very, very slow, it is complete when it's done. However, when it's done, sometimes you need a little bit of a shove to understand that things are done and that you need to move forward. And December for you is internally you're being pushed around a little bit because I think at least your shadow is really sick of this. And what is this? This is when you expect the same thing from yourself and the same thing from other people that you've expected for, you know, the past 10 years, the past 5 years. When you consistently expect the past from yourself and from people, I know how triggering this is. It becomes circular and it's really hard to be different or even think differently enough to want to be different. It can make you wear your hair the same way all your life, or wear the same colors all your life, or wear the same style because you liked it when you were 25, you know? And although most of these things you're like, that's my signature, you know, that's the source of my power, I get it. But I think you stand to gain a lot of power right now if you take a little bit of time to assess what's happened in the recent past and how that should in fact change all of the things I mentioned. You know, where are you in a rut? To me, from the cards and from the astrology, it seems like there is always a perpetual rut that you need to push out of, because the comfortability here, it's unlike any other mutable sign. Again, you guys can get very comfortable in the most terrible of situations, which, you know, there is a lot of respect for that. There's perseverance, there's determination, there's a lot of strength. And also the reason that you fear updating your wants and needs, updating your look, updating your expectations from others, the reason you become fearful, you know, of doing that is because I think you are afraid that you'll lose your power, or that power dynamics will shift in a way that is not, you know, it's not for you. It's not conducive to what you want. It's a bit of an ego conversation that we're having, and it can take you to a place, you know, where okay. So what I mean to say is it's an ego conversation, but it's not meant to make you put yourself down. It's not meant to make you feel like you're a piece of shit. Not at all. That's not what's happening. But it will bring into glaring relief what is not being updated, what is not enough, what is dragging you down, what is pulling you towards a sadness, towards a past, towards a fear that doesn't have to be realized. And the thing that really changes everything for you is that you have to understand that your rut is your own. You created it. Because the slower the healing is, the longer you can hold on to something. I think sometimes you don't even know what you're holding on to, but just the desire, you know, that like a childlike grip on something, where it's, you know, that thing we have left over from the monkey days where we just hold on really tight, and we don't want to update anything lest we upset a balance that we've grown comfortable with. But growing comfortable with something is not necessarily what we want. So moving on, your partner, whomever you're with right now, can seem moody and weird, you know, and they're indecisive, and they were so positive and so gung-ho about everything, and now it just seems a little bit strange. They may want a change in direction when it comes to the relationship that just throws you for a loop completely. And this is the type of shit you hate. This is why actually you get so stuck in things, because this is sudden change like this is what you don't want. But Jupiter is going direct in Taurus, and then you have a bunch of stuff going on between Mercury and Jupiter, which is very good for you in terms of relationship. So you can actually knit yourselves back together pretty easily. But in that moment, if you are with someone right now where they start to go sideways, do not follow them down that road. Do not legitimize what they're doing or validate it in any way. Just wait for Mercury and Jupiter to do their thing and see how it brings you guys back together. The less confrontational and accusatory you are now, and I'm not saying you don't have a point, I'm just saying the less you do that now, the easier it is if you don't want a dissolution. You want to just take, I want to change directions in the relationship, to we're both changing directions in this relationship together, instead of, you know, holding your ground for no other reason than to just be stubborn. Because in their own way, they're trying to tell you as well that a change needs to happen. They're trying to tell you that, you know, our connection needs to be updated. What we want from each other needs to be looked at again. What you want from yourself, the way you are with yourself, the way I am with myself, the way we are with each other, we need to look at all this again. And you can hear, even though that's what your partner or your potential partner, whomever you're dealing with, is saying, you can hear that, but what you know, you're listening, but what you actually hear is, I don't want to be with you, which is an overreaction, and it's emotional, and I would think the same thing. So no judgment, but your positive vibes can save it. If you get into that Jupiter energy and, you know, that very Sag energy, it is Sag season of just not letting things get to you. And if somebody wants to take their time to make up their mind, or if they want to see, you know, how you react to a different situation, as long as it's within your moral code and what you expect out of a relationship, you know, let them communicate. Let them tell you what it is that they're missing. Let them tell you what they want updated. You tell them too, but how are you supposed to know if you're too busy being emotionally codependent? You don't even know what you want. You're just jumping from one foot to the other, hoping that they'll stay happy. That's not gonna fucking work. I know everybody hates it when I do that. Okay, we'll stop here for the YouTubes. I'll see you on Patreon for the rest of this, okay? I love you.